a chance to something else here. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our curriculum and instruction meeting. I'm Sherelle Harris, and we have our crew. So we'll do, I can't see who's on from the Board of Ed. So Sherry, is Sherry here?
Yes,
I'm
she
here,
is.
Sherelle. I'm here.
Sherry is here.
Okay, and let me just see. Well, I want to say Janine, but I know it's not Janine. Mary Ellen.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okey-dokes. Yay. And I think that's it for, I don't think Erica is joining us. So the first item on the agenda, and thank you. The agenda is the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look them over from last month?
I don't know that I got them, but I would abstain anyway because I don't think I was here for that meeting.
Yeah, likewise, Mary Ellen's here. I did not see the minutes.
Okay, so normally they are included with the packet. Did you receive the packet?
Okay, so I think what's happening here is we're new at this, and
Mhm.
I did find where the Zoom link was, but maybe there was something else I should have read. And
Okay.
excuses,
That's
please.
okay. No worries. So I can either have Colin or I can show you how to, it's usually, Maura usually sends out a packet and there's a link and it has everything in it. So you can click on the agenda, you can click on, you can get the minutes and that's
I did
it.
click on the agenda, so I knew it was on the
Nothing was
agenda,
there? Oh.
but I didn't see minutes.
So I will ask Maura if she
Maura.
can send them out to the members, okay?
Yeah, and we
So that
can
they can
just
see.
approve 2 sets next month. No
So,
big deal at all. Okay.
right.
So Rob, so we have one item on the agenda, which is nice because then we get to vet things deeply as opposed to having too many items on the agenda and not giving things, enough time to give it fidelity. So
Absolutely.
Rob?
So we have the members of, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. We have the members of our curricula and professional development team here. I'll just allow them to just do a quick introduction and then we will get started. So Ms. Bergen, would you like to start?
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Stacy Bergen, and I am the Educational Administrator for Curricula and Professional Learning here in the Norwalk Public School System.
All right. Ms. Brown?
Good afternoon. My name is Danny Brown. I'm the Assistant Education Administrator for Humanities.
And Ms. Hofer?
Hi, everybody. I'm Misty Hofer. I'm the Assistant Education Administrator for STEM.
Thank you.
All right. So tonight's presentation or conversation is going to be centered around the new curriculum revision process that Stacy and her team implemented this year. And so I'm going to turn the floor over to them so they can talk about, we are right around halfway through the year and where we are in our curricular writing and revision process. So Ms. Bergen, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So when I first arrived in Norwalk back last spring, I started to look at what were some of the processes and procedures that were in place, and thinking about how do we take what already exists and make it better, right? How do we grow on the expertise that existed within the district? So one of the first things I learned was that there was this curriculum writing that took place over the summer. But due to the compacting of like the school year and our hybrid and COVID, we realized that we weren't going to have enough time to really dig deeply into the units of study that were for that previous year. And I thought, what is a way that we could do this where it would have less impact on the summer, but a more genuine impact throughout the school year? So myself, along with Janine Goss and Tina Henkel, started to think about implementing a cycle of feedback that would start in the fall, and revisions would start in real time versus then waiting for like 10 months out. Because really, how do we remember what we really remember in June, what happened in September? And so, right, like I don't remember what I had for dinner last night. So we're trying to build systems and structures in place so that teachers have a voice and we can make those changes in the now. And the beauty of it is that when the time comes, like in the summer, we can change our the need for the work into other things in and around instruction, as opposed to the creation of the unit plans. Just as a reminder, and this may be new information for Mary Ellen and for Sherry, is that we purchased a new program this year called Wonders for grades K through 5. So we also had teachers learning the Wonders materials as we've been going on. So we've been thinking about how do we then reflect immediately on what we're actually teaching in order to not forget come next September. So we built a feedback cycle that we think has been working pretty well. And the teachers like it. We need to get more teachers involved in giving the feedback, but at least it's a step in the right direction. So I'm going to share my screen with you. We have a flow chart, which sort of talks to the process. And Misty and Danny, if you ever want to just jump in, just jump in. Okay, does everyone see the screen?
Mhm.
Great. All right, things are working today. So in the summer of 2021, teachers came together to begin to write new curriculum. And it was really new for grades K to 5, again, because we had that new program. So they were simultaneously learning the program as well as then writing the units of study within that program. In addition, teachers were also using school-wide resources and thinking about how can we marry the two. So where Wonders needed a little support in the writing, we were able to take the school-wide resource, pair them together, and create very robust units of study. Then when we came back in the end of August during Teacher Orientation Week, we began to unpack the units of study with literacy and math coaches and math teachers, because we wanted them to be the vehicles by which this information was disseminated to teachers. And we created an unpacking protocol, which has been used throughout the district by literacy and math coaches to work with their teacher teams within their schools. After the launching of the units, we had a feedback cycle. And so we have a wonderful resource called the Curriculum Corner, which Misty and Danny and Tina and Janine and members of the MLL department and specialized learning and gifted and talented all contribute to like this publication that we put together within our department. And within there was a link to a Google Doc, a Google form that asked teachers very specific questions on the unit of study. And teachers were encouraged to give feedback K through 12 on the first unit of study. Once we had that information, we brought that back to our curriculum writing team and said, okay, what are the common themes we're seeing? What are some things that are outliers? And how do we now then jump back into the units and thinking about changes that need to happen in Unit 1 for next year? While at the same time, thinking of if there are some common trends that are happening in Unit 1, they also may be happening in Unit 2. So let's think about those things as well as we create Unit 2. Okay. What questions do you have at this time?
Can I start a question?
Absolutely.
Sure. So your concept here is that you're developing a very specific curriculum, whether it's in math or reading, or it's just all the subjects K through 5, and all the teachers are putting in the subjects from 6th grade through 12th. Is that right so far?
Right. So for this year, and this year only, we started launching in ELA and in math.
Okay, ELA. So it's only in ELA and only in math.
At this time.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. It seemed so ambitious. So
Yes, yeah. No,
come back just a little bit with me so I get the product is going to, let's pretend I'm a fifth grade teacher and I'm just learning this wonder and I get the first unit. How many fifth grade teachers are there in the system? You know, more than a dozen?
yes.
For sure.
Mhm.
All of us fifth grade teachers would use this unit. Is that right? There's going to be a uniformity of using the unit?
Yeah. Yes.
And is there going to be, is the evaluation of how well we've used it really on us to give you feedback as opposed to on administration to evaluate a teacher?
So good question. So let me just take it one step back. So
Okay.
At the end of each of the units is an assessment, right? So whether it's math or ELA, there is an assessment that is product driven. The students are creating something, right? That product gives the curriculum team and the teachers information about how well the unit may or may not have been executed in the classroom, right? So that data that we're using there is looking at student achievement and student progress. In terms of evaluation by principals, we know that this is an implementation year. And so we are giving grace to, we know we're going to hit a lot of lumps and bumps along the way. And so that's why these feedback cycles are really important for both math and ELA, because we want to uncover what some of those hiccups are in order then to get better at using the resources to become better pedagogues within the classrooms. Does that answer your question, Mary Ellen?
Yeah, it narrows the scope a little bit. I was thinking, whoa, every subject, every teacher, every unit they're teaching. So this is just a little bit narrower. So it's math and ELA. And then it sounds more human in a sense of more cheerful, that you give it a try and the teacher gives it a try and then sees how, takes a look at how the kids produce their product at the end of the unit. And they look at it, you look at it, and I like the grace idea.
Right. And so we're looking at it for like, what are some of the trends that are happening across the district? So are we noticing that kids are struggling with writing thesis statements or topic sentences? And if that's the case, then we can say, okay, in unit 2, right, or 3 or 4, depending upon where we are within the school year, we can then make adjustments to the units of study to build in additional experiences for kids so that they can get better at that particular skill. Now, the skill may be different from school to school, and that's why it's really important that teachers come together in teams to look at their student data, their student work, and say, you know what, we are really struggling with like paragraphs. Our kids are not, really formulating the sort of the idea of the hamburger paragraph, right? And thinking about, we need to do that at our school, but maybe at another school, they're just struggling on conclusion statements. And so teachers are given the autonomy to make adjustments within the curriculum that best supports their student population. So this is in no way, this one size fits all program. We have an end product and we have a roadmap of how to get there. But sometimes, like we know with road trips, we have to like get off the highway to stop and look at the big ball of yarn and like make that experience happen for kids. Okay. Any other questions at this point?
Do the teachers continue to come together, obviously, as you
Yes.
go through this process? How often do they meet? How often do they get together?
So meetings take place in two different ways, right? So once we have the feedback from the teachers, right, and we go in, our team comes together. That's so me, Misty, and Danny, we come together along with a team of our literacy coaches and selected teachers who applied to be on the curriculum writing committee, and we revise the curriculum, right? And then we say like, okay, we're going to put this to bed right now. And then we're going to move on to the next unit of study, right? At the same time that that's happening, teachers are meeting within their school teams. So all grade 5 teachers are meeting at Rowayton, and they're talking about what's happening in their classrooms based upon the student data that they have. And then they're making instructional decisions at their level. Say, you know, K to 12. So we have our 12th grade teachers meeting, we have our 11th grade teachers meeting to make really informed instructional decisions for the students that sit in their classrooms. And that could be regarding either like materials that they think they need to either add or experiences that they need to provide for kids in order to really sharpen those skills. Okay. So the other piece that we do is called the thin slicing protocol. And this thin slicing protocol is used across the district in ELA and in math. All of our coaches were trained in addition to our school leaders, both principals and CISDs and APs were trained in using this protocol as a way to look at a piece of student work, groups of student work in order, again, to get additional insight into student learning. So what's really happening in the classroom and how are students then producing tasks that are meeting or exceeding the standards. And once we have that data as well, we go back into the units of study and we can make these changes. We post revised units onto our website. And it's our goal this year to have all of the units of study revised. And so that in the summer, we only need to make minor tweaks, right? And we can use the time that we usually allocate for curriculum writing to be able to really do some instructional work with our teachers. Any additional questions? Or Misty, Danny, do you want to add something to the process?
How long does is this a year-long process or?
Oh,
right?
yes, Sherry, this will
Right?
take
So-
all year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
This will take all year. And so what we've noticed too is like, as we get into it, so we're into unit 3 right now,
Right.
you know, teachers are able to give feedback faster. Coaches are able to think about ways in order to revise the units of study more thoughtfully and more quickly because they're getting used to the program and they're getting used to the process.
So is this process in addition to teachers just doing the normal execution of a lesson? You know,
Well, I
right?
mean, I think it's reflection is
Right.
part of your job as a teacher,
Mhm,
right? So, you know, you always execute a lesson plan,
mhm.
and sometimes it works out the way you planned it, and then sometimes it like doesn't,
It doesn't, right?
right? And so we have to stop and reflect, think about what went well, and then what roadblocks did we hit along the way, and how can we fix those so that it doesn't happen again. So we have encouraged teachers to think about like, you know, at the end of the day, like make some notes or in the moment, like make some notes on your lesson plans. Because again, you know, you don't remember at the end of the week or at the end of the month
Right.
what went well or what didn't go well. And so we have found that by teachers really being reflective, they're making better instructional decisions for their kids.
So were we doing this 2, 3 years ago? Is this something, I
No,
mean,
this is
right?
new.
This is new, right? We weren't doing this.
This is new. It up until like, so last summer was the last summer that we will wait to do any revisions in the summer
Mhm.
because you just don't remember. And the teachers who may have been applying to be part of that curriculum writing time, they may not have even taught some of the classes that needed units to be revised. So it wasn't really like good matches sometimes. And so we wanted to make sure that we were creating the best matches for, for the teachers so that they could have the best resources available to them.
Stacey, if I can just add that one of the other benefits of this is that, when we have done curriculum writing in the past, it is all very much determined on whether or not you could attend that week that the curriculum writing was happening. So if you had a scheduled vacation, you couldn't get coverage for your children, then you couldn't necessarily participate in the curriculum writing. And so this allows every teacher in the district to have a voice in that process during the school year. So it's not based solely on your summer availability.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So if we go back a little bit to before you initiated this, and I think the looping of feedback is a truly great idea. But if we go back to before that, and the teachers, and if I could go to 5th grade again, just pretending that I, as a teacher, would have a certain list of topics that had to be covered during that year. Are those topics still firm from 3 years ago to now? It's just how they're being presented and how the students are being asked to produce products or to be more involved in the process of learning, but the topics themselves remain the same. Or have you changed the topics?
So within ELA and in math, we are working towards the standards that are set by the state of Connecticut. And over the last 2 years, Connecticut has highlighted priority standards that they felt, according to test data, that kids needed extra or additional support in, that these need to be the focus standards. So the standards drive our instruction, and the resources that we use in order to access those standards are similar across the district. So, for example, all schools have Wonders as a resource. All schools have illustrative math as a resource for them to use. And then if there's other things that kids need, so for example, we knew that kids would need access to more decodables. So decodables are short books that have repetitive phoneme sounds, it's phonics. And this we knew that there weren't enough of those books. So we purchased an additional resource for teachers to use in those classrooms. Now, teachers also may have had another set of decodables from back when we had a different resource. And as long as those decodables are the same letter sound pattern, it doesn't matter which ones of them that they use, as long as they're using some of them or all of them, depending upon what the need of the kids are.
So just, that's a very good answer. That I didn't realize that all the schools were using the, is it illustrative mathematics?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm wondering, in terms of science and STEM, are you using all of the next generation standards in every grade level?
So our science curriculum, our science curriculum
Misty.
has also, hi, how are you? Our science curriculum has also undergone some rewriting and some revisions over the past 3 years. So all of our science K through 12 has core NGSS based standards and units. We have partnered with CREC to help us put that into place, but we have also done some curriculum revisions with our teachers this year for specific to biology, based off of what we wanted to respond to for needs of teachers and needs of students. And we did those curriculum revisions in real time as well, the way that Stacey outlined.
So would you say, just comes to mind, was there a little bit more focus on what is a virus, a microbiology stuff, or was the current time we're in, did that impact your desire to help students understand that?
It actually impacted a unit that we decided not to use this year because of, we wanted to be very aware and sensitive to what was happening with students losing people through coronavirus. So we did an immediate revision before school started, And then we work together with our teachers throughout the district to make sure that all of the standards would be met and then everything would roll out appropriately through the year. And we really they worked together to make some great revisions as well in terms of some common rubrics that all secondary teachers could use when looking at students as they engage with the NGSS.
And I don't want to leave out social studies because I know that our social studies practitioners have been coming together and doing some work on the curriculum as well. But at the state level, we know that they are working to revamp and add content standards. And so we're really trying to keep an eye on as that is morphing and adapting. That is something, one of the things I always say is that our curricula is like the Constitution. It's a living document, so it's constantly changing.
I certainly feel that when it comes to civics, I don't know, do we actually do civics? Is that still a unit in 9th or 10th grade, right? Civics, right? We do that?
Yes.
Part of this,
In
Good
high
question.
school, correct.
right? Clearly, with what we see going on in our nation, we have a lot of people who just don't have an understanding. And I just say that I hope that we're definitely making sure that our curriculum is tight when it comes to social studies and geography and civics, because it's clear, you know, anyway,
Yeah, I second that.
you know my point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we've engaged with our partners at the state level
Right.
and are part of those subcommittees in order to get, the most recent information. So at the state level, they are beginning to realign
Good.
some of the units of study within the social studies framework.
Mhm.
And so we will continue to do that work as
Right.
the state releases more information. We will continue to engage with our partners here in Norwalk, our teachers, and in how we're going to realign and adjust our units of study.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
You said you are engaging with state partners. Do you engage with CES and their
Yes.
professional development?
Mhm.
Could you, I just this last week went to my first CES meeting because I'm the liaison from the Board of Ed. Could you tell me to what degree you interact with them?
So at this point, the meetings are taking place on Zoom, and so we attend the monthly meetings. And we are also in Norwalk. P-Tech High School has been a partner in terms of piloting the African American, Black, Latino, Puerto Rican Studies class that rolled out this year and will be offered at all of our high schools next year. So they were one of our pilot schools and part of the first cadre. So they have been working with also the curriculum developers and writers at the state level to produce content for that course.
And you're saying that some CES helped you with that in some manner?
Yes, well, they're the ones who provided a lot of the resources for that class to take off.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I'm this is, I'm new to it. I'm not new to their organization because I've gone to a lot of professional developments there, which were all terrific.
Mhm.
But this is a different position. I'm trying to understand how we are connected with that, how you are connected with it.
Right.
It seems like a terrific resource.
Mhm. They have been great partners, and we continue to work. We look forward to continuing to work with them in the upcoming school year, and over the summer. They're going to be doing a lot of work over the summer, and even some of our teachers are on the curriculum writing committee for social studies.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Yes, for the state level curriculum writing, which we're really proud that we have our teachers involved in that process as well. So that's really exciting.
So Norwalk teachers are involved on the state level.
Yes, ma'am.
for the state social studies curriculum revisions. Yep.
Does anyone
Wow.
have any other questions on the curriculum revision process?
Well, just a comment that, you're good. You're good. This is, the basis is national and state standards. And the way to get there is dynamic programs, and you're on point.
Thanks. Well, this is the team. It's a team effort, not only at central office, but with our teachers who serve our students every day.
Right. A heavy lift.
Yep.
For everybody involved,
Mhm.
but a good goal here.
Yep.
We're lifting the kids up.
Mhm.
Sherry, did you have any other questions? Sherry, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, no, I'm good.
You're
I'm
good?
good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rob, since we have a little bit of time, do you want to talk a little bit about Blues and Beyond and the pilot of that particular program?
Sure. Ms. Bergen and I met with Blues and Beyond, and it is a music, social studies, history. It really an impressive organization here in Norwalk, and we are going to be partnering with them to work with our middle school students, but then also in our summer academy, they will be joining and working as part of our enrichment opportunities. And we've had a couple meetings with them. Ms. Bergen joined me, and she's been in communication, talking with them around the curricula and how it ties into our 8th grade US history, and really just trying to, I mean, I've been very impressed in the couple of meetings with them. Stacy, would you like to add anything?
Sure. So I spoke with Eric today, and we are beginning the process of planning for our 8th graders to partake, all of our 8th grade classrooms to participate in this great program. In addition to rethinking the summer school, as Rob, I'll just echo what Rob said. And it's going to be a great experience because it's the integration of history and music and literature to get kids really excited about learning the history through the construction of a song that their class will co-write. And so we're really looking forward to this partnership. We're looking forward to sharing a lot of the magic of what music can bring into instruction and into the content, and thinking about different, and then taking that experience and thinking about how we can sort of bankroll it into other classrooms. How can we make other connections within ELA and within science, and in getting kids excited about learning, so that it's not just, where kids say like, I'm so bored. You can't be bored in Blues and Beyond, because you're moving, you're grooving, you're reading, you're responding, you're really thinking, you're writing. And so that will really allow kids to be the center of the learning. And so we're really excited for this partnership.
Mm-hmm. I think it's great. I love, when we were on the one meeting, I love what you said is summer school, not just being your typical summer school, but, very interactive and something that kids, want to attend. So I'm very excited. The Sono branch of the Norwalk Public Library piloted the program this summer, just so teachers or whomever wanted to watch, they could sort of see what was going on. And the kids, their song was about playing games. So their blues song was about playing games, and it was just the cutest thing ever. So I'm really excited about the interactive learning and having kids involved, in the give and take or the call and response, as we would say in the Black church. So I'm really excited about the partnership.
I know is there still a jazz band in the district at West Rocks? Is Jeff Belagamba, is he still with us? Only because I know at one time there was an actual jazz band, and I'm just thinking that, I don't know, maybe there'd be some way to kind of weave that in there. But I know that at one time there was, as part of the, the orchestra, there was a actual jazz ensemble too in the district. So maybe
I know as far back as 2016, but I don't know if that's
maybe no more. Yeah.
in existence, or COVID could have sort of,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, pushed
But
that
I-
aside,
but I-
but we can check into that, or
Yeah.
if Rob.
Um,
I was just gonna say, I do think that this is a really great opportunity to tie into both social studies and
Yeah.
music.
Right.
Mhm.
So my question is, we're in partnership, but I'm not clear on who we're partnering with.
The name of the company is Blues and Beyond.
Is it a group of musicians? Is it does it come out of some kind of orchestra, and then these folks want to do an outreach with students? What
So
is this?
it's a group of local gentlemen who attend a local church, and they've put together a curriculum to teach Black history through blues. So through
Wow.
the
So
lyrics,
it's really
learn-
local. It's local.
It's hyper
Norwalk.
local. I mean, they're in other schools as well, which is really nice, you know, as resident artists, but they are local, and it's an actual curriculum. So there's a curriculum piece, but it's very interactive. So they're teaching what the instruments are. They're teaching history, starting pre-slavery, which is very important for youth to learn that, you know, Black history did not start with slavery. There was, you know, there were other things going on, you know, prior to slavery, and in this instance, musically. So yeah, so it's a nice, it's a well put together curriculum, and kids will remember it because one, they're engaged. People always remember music, and they actually write their own blues song together.
I see. So from the beginning to the end of taking this, is it roughly 2 weeks of an experience for a child, or 3 weeks?
So
What would you
it's 12 lessons, 12
Mhm.
lessons. And it's in partnership again. So Blues and Beyond does, like, let's say 8 of them, and then teachers have 4 of them where they do them in the classroom, but Blues and Beyond provides all of the materials for those classes. So that's great. They provide everything, like the PowerPoints, all the instructional materials are provided. And then at the end, we could have Blues and Beyond come back, and we could do something within the district where they perform like all the songs that the kids wrote. You know,
Wow, this is very exciting. Very
It's
exciting. I can
huge,
see
yeah.
how you would be thrilled, and then that you actually, Shirley, that you saw one of the songs. That's super wonderful.
And you can actually see it too. It's on the Sono website's YouTube. So if you Google Norwalk Public Library, Sono Branch YouTube, it's on the YouTube channel.
and so I can say that our school leaders experienced something similar over the summer, but not through Blues and Beyond, through Lincoln Center. And it was great to see them create their own song, their own blues songs about various topics, school related. And it was great for them to get out of their sort of norm, right? To really think out of the box. Some are more musically talented than others. But, you know, music is something that speaks to almost everyone, right? I don't think we have met many people who say, like, I don't enjoy music in some capacity, right? And so it's a language that is universal, that kids, you know, kids who are learning another language learn it very quickly through music. Both ways, English and Spanish, or English and Haitian, they learn it and pick it up very quickly. And so this is a way into that for them. And, you know, this is really exciting.
And Rob put the Blues and Beyond link in the chat. So if anyone.
I did. So if you're interested in taking a look at their website,
Okay.
I added the link into the chat. It's just bluesandbeyond.com. So it's there, and you can check them out. So we're excited. We're excited to make the connections between history and music, and I think it's going to be a great partnership as we roll this out this year. So.
Wow. Okay.
Very exciting.
Glad I showed up today.
We are as well.
So, Rob, can I just share screen? I just want to show, because the minutes are there, and just as a point of order, I want to go back. So I will probably have to have someone.
Yes, you are
Move.
absolutely right. I was looking at that because I was there. I wasn't there for the November meeting. So if we need to go back and have a motion made, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe you want a chance to look. They're very, very short. So
Yeah, it
we
wasn't-
can either do one of two things. We can approve the minutes tonight, or we can table them until the next meeting.
I think we should just go ahead and approve them. I mean, it
Okay.
was that, yeah. I mean,
Mary
I have
Ellen,
no
did you
problem
have
with
a,
that.
yeah, I don't know. Mary Ellen, did you have a chance to look at them?
So,
See, Mary Ellen, you know what it is when Maura sends us the link, when
yes,
you click on the link that says to see the agenda,
right,
when you see the agenda, there's a little like a document icon that's right next to the minutes.
okay.
And if you
I
click
did
on that,
look at
if
that.
you click on that, you get the minutes and you see everything.
Okay,
So you got to click on the link where she says see agenda, and then the agenda will open up, and then you'll see, I think it was point B for the minutes. And if you click, there's a little icon on the
Mhm.
right-hand side next to
So,
minutes.
can I do that while we're here? Can I just?
You should be able to. You probably
Yeah.
will. You might not see us if you want to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so I could take a look at it.
Yep.
And
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine, if we
Yeah,
want
whatever you
to.
want to do.
Mary Ellen, you were at the last. Yeah,
She
you were
was.
there.
I guess I
She
was
was.
at a meeting.
She
I
was.
didn't see
You
the,
were, yeah.
She was there. She was there.
okay,
It was the 11/16 meeting that it was with the last committee.
okay, so, it's just gonna take me a little while to get in this. But I'm working on it. Okay, so I could work on that while you guys do something else.
But actually, we're at the end of our agenda. So maybe we should just
You want to table it?
Can we table it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's just
That way
table it.
she's
and
not
I'll read
rushed and
that.
she has questions, she can read it, and she has a
Yeah.
little time to flesh it out.
That sounds good. We'll approve it at the
Okay, I appreciate the, walking me through it.
So does somebody want to make that motion?
I can make a motion to table the December 21st minutes to the next meeting.
I
Thank you,
second that.
Sherry. Thank you. All in favor? Yay.
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 All three. So, great job, Rob. I like the 1-2 agenda. I'm loving it because we get to ask questions and not have to rush. So this is wonderful. Thank you so much for the fidelity, particularly to the students and the feedback. And
Mhm.
I love Stacey, I think you said you can write the notes because you may forget in a day or two. And that happens with me, even if I'm taking minutes for something, or I have to do them right away so that I don't forget,
That's right.
which can happen. So Danny, Donnie, Misty, Stacy, Rob, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, really.
Yes. And great questions, Mary Ellen and Sherry. Great questions. So if we don't have anything else or any other questions, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
I-
move Brown. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Ellen, go ahead.
Okay, I just make a motion to adjourn.
Mary Ellen, thank you. And I
Second
don't know
Brown.
if check the second Brown. So all in favor, Brown, Harris, and
Let's move it on.
Flannery. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.